Wake up, baby girl, turn over 'cause daddy made beans and eggs. You've been sleeping all afternoon and now it's time to eat your beans and eggs. And we're gonna listen to another episode. It's 182 of Shane's podcast, where you eat your beans and eggs now. Eat them beans and eggs and I'll feed them to you, because your arms are tied down. And we're gonna listen to Shane's newest effort at the best podcast. It's a really good podcast. You're gonna love it. Gonna feel it. You're gonna love it. Gotta have it. I need some more of it. Give me them beans and eggs. Give me them, give me them, give me them beans and eggs. We're gonna have it 182. We're really up there to come. Oh, baby, baby, let's go. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Welcome back to another episode, the wonderful Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. Have you heard of this podcast? Of course you have. I've had some issues with these damn comments, I'll tell you that. Mike Buchanan was cut off again in his comment. And I couldn't find Miss Althea was there. Someone else was missing. Now, I don't know what you two's problem is. But now you're going to start doing this. You already don't push my stuff out to everyone that should be watching it. And now all of a sudden, the comments are getting weird and stuff. Because I'll tell you right now, both these hands up and they don't lie. Okay, I'm not a liar. And I will tell you this right now, I do not delete comments. Now, I will tell you, there is a feature in there that catches them. And I don't really go in there because it's usually just rotten shit. You know, people that just really get in there and give it to you with both barrels. So they just go, yeah, that's not going in. So maybe it's a word thing. I don't know what's happening. But it needs to stop, YouTube. Hear me now. Hear me true. Okay? Please and thank you. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. Okay? I know Mr. Beast can go in there and he can toss shit around in the office. I can't do that. And I wouldn't do that. Okay? That's why you need to make me the biggest star of YouTube. Please. I don't need to be the biggest star of YouTube, of course. Are you silly? But I would like the comments to show up. If people put the comments down there, I'd like the comments to show up. Please, thank you, and that's it. Okay, that's enough of that. Now, welcome to 182 of this podcast. Before this podcast ends, I'm going to tell you my two greatest moments of Zakk Wylde on the incomparable Billy Corgan's Malignant Bastards podcast or whatever. What's it called? I know it's not Malevolent. I know it's not Malignant. Magnificent Bastards. And he has all his favorite bastards come on there and he talks to him. And he talks to Zakk Wylde. You know him? The guitar playing guy? Black Label Society and all that. Two of my favorite moments that were just, I was intrigued by the end of this podcast. Plus your comments. Why did I pick that up if I'm not going to have a drink? There was a couple moments in that when I was watching that podcast, Billy Corgan's podcast, where I was completely frozen. I'm telling you, Zakk Wylde is a wonderful guy. He's a free-spirited kind of a guy. I got that from him right away. But we will get into it. A few stories that we're not going to be talking about. Steve Zetro Souza, Exodus, he says, I might do a couple shows with him if they ever ask me to do it, but I'm not getting on a tour bus. That's not going to happen. Vivian Campbell went through his bone marrow transplant, and he's back out with Def Leppard. He's back at it, and he's doing it, so we love that. What else are we not going to be talking about? It'll come to me as it comes to me, okay? But we've got Duff McKagan in here. I watched live at the Ritz. Remember I started that new thing where I tell you the concerts and shit that I watched throughout the week? I went and watched the whole damn thing, and that is a barn burner of a concert. Guns N' Roses, live at the Ritz, 1988, something like that. And it's the freaking first record. And it is hit after hit after hit. And of course they do Knocking on Heaven's Door too. And I was thinking this as I watched that. I may know that live concert better than than I do their music, because it's like Kiss Alive 2. I can mimic every word that's spoken, every oh yeah, everything. And I can do almost the same thing with that concert. And I think I owned that as a kid. Anyways, let's get into it. We got all the paperwork out of the way. Is this annoying? I'm sorry. I'll have another little sip here. We've got the man. Another story we won't be talking about. We will be talking about Zach Wilde, but he said that Pantera is the gold standard for extreme metal for that time period. But Phil Anselmo, he's just here. He's the first story up, and he says, playing with Pantera, he says, every night it's about trying to make my bandmates proud. And you know what? I'll tell you this. This is not one of my favorite moments of Zach Wilde's crazy Billy Corgan thing. But I do agree. I accept it a little more. The dude almost had tears in his eyes when he was going, I like to go out there and picture Vinny and Dimebag out there by the mixing board every night. And they're smiling and they're saying, you're doing a good job. I mean, I'm down. I'm in. You know, I believe the man when he says, I mean, we are making a nice chunk of change, don't get me wrong, but but what I'm saying here is I feel like his intention is true, that he's doing it in the honor. And I agree with Billy when Billy says you're the only guy that could have done it. Fans wouldn't have taken, because when Billy said that in his podcast, it's kind of a podcast inside of a podcast I'm doing here. But I was picturing Billy Corgan up there. Pantera would have been ruined. Even if Billy Corgan could play every single note just like Dimebag or whoever, pick your guitar player, it had to be Zach. Let's get into it. It's heavy metal news. That's what we're talking here, guys. And you get in the comments at the end, we read them, and it's a lot of fun. And you enjoy yourself. In the special 50th edition of Rock Candy Magazine. Anyone have a copy of that? Not to send me, but just to, like, I've never heard of Rock Candy Magazine. Philip Anselmo of the returning Pantera tells editor Howard Johnson what it means to him to have the band back on the road and playing sold-out shows. I feel crazily lucky, crazily fortunate. I have a hard time putting it into words, but I'll try. Oh man, it feels like a blessing. Those are good words, Phil. Don't knock yourself. You're the guy that comes up with all that time for primal concrete sludge and stuff like that, all right? Cemetery Gates, don't knock yourself. Say you're crappy with words. Unless you didn't write any of those lyrics. Did you write the lyrics? Now, 56 Anselmo joined Pantera when he was only 18 years of age and has been suffering from chronic back pain since his early 20s. That's got to be hell. But surgery and rehabilitation have got him to the point he can deliver the goods on stage each and every night. Night after night, dare I say, on the band's current tour, which will include the farewell Black Sabbath gig. It's another story we won't be talking about is Ozzy, the sweet boy, the prince of fucking darkness. Ozzy says, I'm going to try. He says, I'm going to do 120% for you all, you guys at my last concert. And we know it. I mean, you got to salute the guy just for being as old as he is, right? Just snorting ants and doing all the shit that he was out there doing. You just wonder that he's still going. After all of that, ATV accidents and everything. He delivers it night after night, Phil does. Gets on the damn stage up there, delivers it good and hard every night, night after night. And it includes that farewell show in the UK, July 5th. It's bad. Derry, man. So it's still going to war. And I'll be honest, that some young man shit to sing, that's some young man shit to sing. So you gotta throw everything into it. It's a meeting. It's very physical. But when I see that crowd, when I look out there and I see the crowd, I love it. I don't care. That's the payoff right there. And yet, funnily enough, is that a word, funnily? And yet, funnily enough, it's also cathartic. When I get into the zone, it blocks out all the noise and the bullshit of the day. And it's mellow. It's another story we won't be talking about is, what was it that we weren't going to be talking about? Zach Wilde in Billy Corgan's podcast, he also said that every night, Mr. Phil Anselmo asked a question. He looks out at the audience and says, how many of you Pantera fans are here? You've been around for the long haul, Pantera, and you've seen us before. Right? And then he says, and the crowd goes crazy. And then he says, but now. How many of all you youngins out there are coming to see the Pantera for the first time and hear the music for the first time? And the crowd cheers. And you know what Zach Wilde said about it? He said about 75% of the crowd clapping is new people that are finding the music. So he says it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to do the Pantera band. You can read the exclusive interview with Anselmo and Pantera drummer Charlie Benante in issue 50 of Rock Candy magazine, together with in-depth stories and interviews with Styx legend Dennis DeYoung. Yeah. Rich Williams of Kansas. Okay, I'm glad they put that there because I didn't know who that was going to be. Chris Goss of Masters of Reality. Josh Todd of Buck Cherry. That sounds like a fine magazine. If you'd care to take a look into that, you can just go over to rockcandymag.com. Let your dreams come true. The Reformed Pantera, featuring surviving members of Anselmo vocals, Rex Brown bass, along with the guitar man, the wizard on that, Zach Wilde, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Label Society, and Benante. He just goes by Benante. I'm cutting back in here to ask if anyone listened to that interview. Maybe you guys will talk about it in the comments, but the Billy Milano interview that I told you about, he does not have good things to say about the some of the Anthrax fellas that he jammed with. Benante Anthrax are headlining a number of major festivals across North America, South America, and Europe, and staging some of their own headlining concerts. They're also supporting Metallica. Life is great, isn't it? Let's get into Blackie. You say you don't want to run and hide a place where no one knows. Good old Blackie Lawless. Oh, he did put the hair piping back in. So what he did was he had the white hair piping going on when he first started the band, right? Not when he was in London. He had no hair piping in that. But then when he started Wasp, he started putting the white hair piping. Some would argue gray. I basically think that once you put the white on the black hair, it's white. But some will say gray. But he's using white. But then you get into the Headless Children years and then the Crimson Idol and all that, and he went no white hair piping. But now that he's back and doing the reunion concerts and stuff, he said, I think it's time for white hair piping again, because Shane is always correct when he says what kind of hair products I use. WASP. Do you know what that stands for? Well, just you look into it and just figure it out for yourself. I'm not going to repeat what WASP stands for. Blackie Lawless hopes to release his autobiography in 2026. Am I reading that properly? Oh, dreams come true. I'm sure it'll be a great book, but you got, Blackie, if you're paying attention, you gotta give us the dirt. That's why the dirt did so well for Motley Crue. They gave us the dirt. They called it the dirt. That's what we want in the book. So don't hold back. It's going out my belt. I wear a woman's belt. I mean, I take it off and show you, but basically, and it's got a nice design on it as well. I mean, it's got, it's kind of the reason why I wear the woman's belt is, let me explain to you. I like the hookies. Like the loops, got 2 loops on a belt. I like that you can cinch it tighter. I don't like those belts that's got the little dick that you got to put in the thing, I don't like those. But I found that with the hoops, you can really cinch it. But they don't really make a men's, maybe I should quit doing all of this and make a men's version of a loop belt, and I'll become a trillionaire. Because it's a fantastic design. Once belts, you always got to tighten it, drill another hole, do all this shit, right? With the cinch, you just cinch it up. So you got to go to the women's department for the loop belts. So when I'm over there, I go, okay, I'm not going to buy one that is just flamboyant as hell. I still have to do heavy lifting and work around jerks all day. So I can't have anything that's flashy. But I got this belt. It's a nice thing, and it's, I don't know, it's not plastic, but it's, what's that they make little outfits and stuff out of? Kind of a vinyl, I guess. I don't know, but it's very nice. It cinches tight. I don't be hiking my pants all day long because I'm a busy man. I got shit to do. Wasp. Oh, that was a chug. Okay, I'm going to tell you my first. I'll save the one for last, because my Zakk Wylde stories. Because when I tell you this story, you are going to immediately go over and watch that podcast. Immediately. I guess Zakk Wylde loves the New York Yankees, right? He's a big baseball fella. Now, I can't confirm nor deny that Billy Corgan is a baseball nut or knows what's going on. I'm willing to bet he would hold the wrong end of the bat and go, is this how we do it? Is that how we do it? But anyways, there seemed to be this tension because, Zakk Wylde's talking about, it's like the fucking Yankees, man. We get up there on stage every night and we knock them out of the park, and it's like the fucking Yankees. He keeps going on about the Yankees. And then Billy Corgan's like, I have to tell you, the thing about Billy is he loves to interject his own brags. He loves to kick out a brag, And he's like, I've got to tell you the time that I went to a Yankees game. And he says, and after that, I'm standing there, I'm watching it, whatever. And then afterwards, they says, hey, hold on a minute, come down here with me. So I followed this guy down. He goes, you know this guy? And he's like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. And he's like, and then they took me down this hall, and it was a right and a left and a right and a right and another right, I believe, and then it was a left. And then I was in this room, and it just had all this food. Or the locker room. He's down in the locker room. You could see Zakk, kind of shivering a little bit, like, you was down in the fucking Yankees locker room, huh? And he's like, and then, God, this would have been this year. And so what was he throws the ball. The pitcher, what was his name? And he's like, Donovan Marcinelli. He's like, yeah, that's him. So I met him. Who was the guy that did that? I think catching. And this goes on. And he keeps going, Tim Turdenbeck. Yeah. And you can just see Zakk. And then he goes, and then all of a sudden they took me down to another room. And I go in this room, and all of a sudden, what's his name? Steinbrenner? Everyone loves Steinbrenner. What's his name? The New York Yankees guy. And he sees Zack's eyes. He's like, George Steinbrenner? He's like, yeah, George Steinbrenner. He came right up to me, and he says, hey, you like the Yankees? And I said, I'm more of a Cubs guy. And I was just like, oh my God, because you could just see, he's like, I don't know if Zach's met them before, but it just seemed like he really wanted to. It's like, this son of a bitch don't know a damn thing about baseball, and he's down there with George Steinbrenner? I don't know what that has to do with Blackie Lawless at all, but we got to get back to it. I'm just taking you guys, you know, someone's out there fucking screaming, I need more news. He's not giving me enough news. What, they got to talk about? Kill, Fuck, Die. That's an album. That's before. Wait a minute. It was Kill, Fuck, Die. No, so he did go Christian, and then he put out the Kill, Fuck, Die album. So then he must have been not, and then he went back to it, didn't he? So how that works? I'll shut up. In a brand new interview with Eon Music, Wasp lead singer Blackie Lawless has said that new music is on the back burner, but that his autobiography will surface soon. Lawless made his comment while speaking ahead of the Shock Rockers' 40th anniversary album One Alive tour, which hits Europe in June. In the deep dive chat, they went deep. In the deep dive chat, the creative behind Wasp also talked about how grunge and Napster changed the face of music. How 1997's controversial Kill, Fuck, Die, also stylized as Kill, Fuck, Die. Is that it? And abbreviated as KFD, and I thank him for saying that because I don't really want to say that again. Album was one of the most creative periods of his career, and how follow-up Hell Dorado was necessarily detoxed to the darkness of its predecessor. Speaking about the change in the musical landscape and how it affected the commercial success of the Crimson Idol 1992, Lawless said, well, the timing is everything, right? I remember for the time I started recording that record to the time I had done the promo and done literally 2 world tours to support it. I came home and it was early 93, I believe, and I remember I picked up Billboard magazine. I was looking at the Hot 100 singles. Creed was there, yes, Creed was on it. And in the list there was myself with Hold On to Your Heart, which we just did. Like 2 weeks ago, I did a reaction video to Hold On to Your Heart. And guess what? I think in that video, I ask why, he took out the no piping. He doesn't have the white piping in his hair. Sammy Hagar had a song. And Motley Crue had a song. The other 97 artists, I did not recognize one of the names. Not a single one. And that stunned me because I thought there's been some sort of seismic shift that has happened in the time since I started making that record. Oh, there's been seismic shifts, baby cakes. They're still coming. Each and every day. Seismic, what do you call it? Another thing that I need to work on, guys, with this podcast, and I know you say, oh, you got a lot to work on, is scrolling up. So you guys, some people like to read along with me. They like to see how good I'm doing. And I got to remember to scroll up so I'm not sitting down here on a line and you guys are going, well, what the fuck? I can't read along with him. So I'm working on that. A seismic shift on how he now views the controversial KFD and his attempt to out Marilyn Manson. He was trying to go for it. He says, I think I can make something just as good as whatever it is he's doing now. What is it? I'm blanking on a song from Marilyn Manson. I would say throughout the history of my career, that will be put on full display in my upcoming 2026 autobiography. That's the most creative record I've ever made. See, he's trying to be a true shock rocker. Because everyone that's a Wasp fan is going to go, Blackie, what? That's the Kill Fuck Die record. But he might have something interesting in here to say. That's the most creative record I've ever made. The imagery of that record is pretty remarkable. Wasn't that the one with Chris Holmes on it too? I can talk about it now as it's been so long. I can look at it with more objective perspective. And I see it as if it was someone else. Well, it was a different you though, Blackie. So you are someone different. You can always change. It's literally never too late to change, right? Like some other artists that had done it, and I listened to it, and like I said, I look at the lyrical imagery of it, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, like I said, I think it's far and away the most creative record I was ever part of. Oh. When Eon Music interviewer Eamon O'Neill, could it be Eon Music? E-O-N. Eon Music. That's clever. That is good. Eamon O'Neill. I knew a guy named Eamon. Guys, I'm going to bring it back. I'm bringing it back now. I'm bringing it all back. When he suggested, Mr. O'Neill suggested a follow-up Eldorado 1999 record was seen in some quarters as an overcorrection, and asked if he's overcorrecting. I like this guy. And asked if it was a case of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Blackie said, well, you are correct in that sense. What you do is you make records that reflect who you are at the moment. And if you capture that, they're little snapshots in your life. And he was doing Kill, Fuck, Die. It's what he was over there doing. Little snapshot of his life. He was killing, fucking, and dying. And he's still alive. So who was it? Am I having a mental breakdown? I don't know. I don't know what it feels like. I mean, it doesn't feel that bad if that's what it is. I mean, it's a little, I'm a little, flighty brain, but I've always kind of been, they're like little snapshots in your life. So if the world sees it as an overcorrection, okay, fine. But KFD was a very, very dark record. And if that's what it takes to create that kind of artistry, I don't want to do it again. Because what? Why are they putting the equal sign in there? Because to have to go to that space and live there for the year that it takes to make that record? No! I don't want to go. I don't want to go back there again. So, Eldorado was a rebellion, if you like, against what we had just gone through. What you just gone through. You own the band, bud. The rest of the guys were having great time doing whatever. You were on your crazy killing sprees. They didn't know anything about it. They're probably learning about it right here in this podcast. We've uncovered some things here. Allegedly. Eldorado was a rebellion against what we had just gone through. It's like we don't want to go back there. I'd never go back to that place. Oh, back inside that pit. Oh, no. It's like, we're out. I'm out. Not gonna do it. I am out. We're going to have a celebration. And so that's really what Eldorado was. It was a celebration of getting your freedom back, getting your life back. I mean, very eloquent. See, was that, how low is that? That's tight and right? On the possibility of a new Wasp music, like I said, well, hold it up there, Iman. I do love your tender love for Wasp and all that. But, well, here's the truth of the matter. We were working on stuff a couple of years ago during COVID. Then we did the European tour 2 years ago. The whole thing happened where I broke my back. Had to go in and get surgeries too. We talked about that in one of the episodes. It was just one big catastrophe after another. So the whole idea of recording at that point just got pushed away on the back burner. And we've been touring ever since. So yes, there are ideas rattling around. But you know, when you could suspect to see it, can't say. I can't tell you, can't do it. Don't know when. Where's your damn book? I want you to talk about your book. Ask and learn about digging into the... I mean, I'd love to just spend an hour with this whole thing, but... I mean, writing. I saw writing, whether it's lyric or anything like that, you try to write them as multi-dimensional as you can. Because the listener, when they listen to it today, you want them in 5 years to be able to look at those same lyrics and see something totally different. Like when I sang, Kill Fucking Die. Is there a song on it called Kill Fuck Die? I'm not judging him. I wrote, you know, I mean, I like Fuck Like a Beast and all that, you know, no problems here. Is that Blackie? Calm. Cool it. I feel like I can take you. You're taller than me for sure. But I never punch down. I always punch up. Bye! We gotta get No. Let's get out of here. Guys, he's got a book coming in 2026. We're all gonna love it. We're all gonna be happy about it. Tender Eyes and Tenderized. What you are witnessing here, my friends, and I'm in front of probably James, if I'm a betting man. I'm somewhere around this little region here, covering his. I covered his damn beautiful tender eyes last time. Quickly, before we get into this story, I want to tell you about a moment that I just saw from James Hetfield that just goes to show you he's a sweet, sweet heart of a person. Is he was up there on stage again and he said something into the microphone, and it was basically about, let's stop the fear. Let's stop the hatred. Let's stop it all. Let's bring back love. Let's bring back stuff. You know, because he's like, because we need you here. I butchered everything that he said. In fact, he didn't say any of that except for, because we need you here. But it was eloquent, it was beautiful, and I loved him. Tender eyes, you have tender eyes, such a smile lights up my life. Whoa. Dave Mustaine, he's saying right here, I wrote a lot of their music that made them. And he's not all that wrong about it, okay? This is an old story. Miss Alfie will say, oh, this old fucking chestnut. But he was on one of them goddamn conspiracy podcasts or whatever. I always see the guy and he's always going, tell me again about, you know, whatever the hell it is he's always going on about. But they always sit back like, Tell me more about that horrifying experience you had. It's like, no, we're done with horrifying experiences. We're done with fear-based horse shit. Do what you're going to do, but I'm done with it. I don't play that game no more. Jesus, I'm losing it. During a 3-hour interview, he says, how long's Joe Rogan's? Well, he does his for 3 hours. 3? Well, I got to do it that long then. I can't have 1 hour. I can't have a 1 hour and a half like Shane. I bet you this guy right here, this Sean Ryan, I bet he's got millions and millions of people that tune into his podcast every week. They can't wait. They eat every bit. During the 3-hour interview with Sean Ryan, a former Navy SEAL and CIA contractor and host of the Sean Ryan Show, Megadeth leader Dave Mustaine spoke about his brief stint as a member of Metallica in the early 1980s. So Sean Ryan, did he book him and say, dude, I got Metallica coming in here? They say, who is it? Dave. Dave who? Dave Mustaine. Oh, no, dude, he gets kicked out. Oh, well, I'll just talk to him for 3 hours about the songs he did with Metallica. I don't know, guys. Okay? All you Sean Ryan freaks, don't come at me right now. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't need anyone whizzing down a rope in my backyard going, where is he? During the 3-hour Sean Ryan, yes, Megadeth leader Dave Mustaine spoke about Metallica in the early 1980s, asked how he ended up. So let me ask you, how did you end up joining my favorite band, Metallica? Dave responded as transcribed by Bob, well, I was done with my previous band, Panic, and I said, I'm going to find something else to do. So I got a newspaper called The Recycler, made from recycled paper, even back then in the 80s. And it's just a rag from Los Angeles, Orange County. It's like a county classified ad magazine, and I'm looking through the classified ads, and go figure. The biggest band in the world would advertise in the newspaper. So I looked at it, and it said, wanted, lead guitar man. And I mentioned a couple of, and it mentioned a couple of bands, yes. So I called up, and I got Lars, little pipsqueak, Lars, on the phone, and I said, yeah, well, I like Motorhead, and I like Budgie. And he goes, you like fucking Budgie, man? And I went, yeah, I do. And that was the icebreaker, because Budgie is a Welsh band. It's a 3-piece. Yeah, I know Budgie, because they do Bread Fan, Metallica. They do all the covers of all their favorite bands. And he goes, oh, no, they're a Welsh band. It's a 3-piece. It's very obscure. And by me listening to them showed that I had credibility in the new wave of British heavy metal community. World. Not the community, the world, because of the bands I was listening to. See? See how low it is? Someone's going, Shane, you got to raise it up. You got to raise it up. They were a 3-piece band from Wales. You said that, Dave, and they kicked ass. They didn't have to have all those silly names in front of it. So Lars and I were on the phone, and he made that comment that I know them, and I said, yeah. So we talked about meeting face to face, and I drove down from Huntington Beach to Newport Beach, where he lived in a place called, I think it was called Park Newport. And the funny thing was, my mom was a maid, and she actually worked an event from catering in his complex he was in, And I'm thinking, go figure. My mom was a maid here, and your mom has a place here. What a story that is.
two different sides of the same coin. And so I went into his place and I started talking to him, and he played this song called Hit the Lights. That was written by a guy named Lloyd Grant. Metallica didn't write that song. Oh,
Here we go, Dave.
show me sand the floor.
Anytime I do that with my hands, I've got to do that. I do variations, though. I do sand the floor. I do now
Paint the fence.
what's the other ones? Sanding. Which ones were the sanding ones?
Right the circle. Left the circle. They played Hit the Lights. They didn't write that song. And then he was friends with Lars. And then Lars introduced him to James Hetfield, Metallica guitarist. And then they started playing Hit the Lights.
And I don't think James knew how to play guitar. Maybe he'll mention something about that.
That song that I heard from them first, and I said, wow, this song needs way more lead solos in it. And he was trying to figure out how I was for real. He wanted to know if I was for real. And so I went to rehearsal, and he said, we're going to try you out. I said, okay. I mean, I knew how good I played. I have been gifted all of my life.
No, he didn't say all my life.
I have been gifted, and I know it's not. And I know it's not by my own doing.
Might be right there, bud.
So I don't try to take any credit for it. So I don't care how good I am or not, or what people say or anything like that. So I just knew what I knew. And I went to then Metallica bassist Ron McGovney.
They didn't have Cliff yet, guys. Don't be freaking out. I don't want you guys putting up goddamn missing child posters for Cliff Burton. He hadn't joined the band yet.
Ron, very lovely guy. He fed me shrimp tails one night. I was drunk. It was something, but and I went there with Lars, and I set up my amps, and I plugged in my guitar. I plugged my guitar in, and I just started warming up.
What are you warming, Dave? Arpeggios. That'll get him worked up. If you did that, that got him worked up.
I just started warming up, and they would come up, and they wouldn't come in. They wouldn't come into the rehearsal room. I says, why? And I walked out and I said, guys, are we going to do the audition? They said, you got the gig, buddy. We heard you from the other room. You got it.
Mustaine went on to say that he knew he would get the Metallica gig when he first went to audition for the band.
'Cause I could play that stuff. I mean, they weren't very many guitar players like me around at the time. Who were they? Randy Rhoads, he was one. There were people like that, the guy from Rat.
Warren D. Martini gets most of it, don't they? But everyone loves. What's the thing with that? Because a lot of people just love Robin Crosby, but it seems like from Rat, Warren D. Martini gets most of the lovin's. Is that something? See, this is heavy metal, guys. This is heavy metal news. This is heavy metal podcast. There's so many things that we are talking about here.
But they were real shredders.
Oh, no. That's a question.
But real shredders? No, there wasn't a lot of us around, and I put myself gladly into that category of total shredder.
asked what it would feel like being in Metallica in those early days, Mustaine said, well,
Again, it's kind of like it seemed like this was what my destiny was. And when it came time for us to do our first concert, we played at a high school. Or maybe it was a junior high school. Lars might have gone to.
oh. Yeah. That's something. Dave, you might be onto something there.
I know he went to it,
So you know he went to that school.
but I can't remember if it was elementary or junior or high school.
I can tell you right now, Dave, were you checking out the chicks? Because there's two of them schools. If you was doing that, you're not a very good person. I mean, for the time period, that would have been 80 something. Guys, what do you think? I mean, he's really breaking it down. It is a 3-hour podcast, so they've got all the time in the world to do it. But I just was wanting to get to the. Here's some names of songs here, addressing the allegations that his excessive drinking was the main reason, right to the tits of it, right? Reason why he was fired from Metallica. But they said,
Well, we all drank. It's true, we all drank. That's why they called it Alcoholica. I mean, they didn't call it Davaholica. We all drank. And they continued to drink like that even after I was gone. But that was, I think, the beginning of the end. And when we got to New York, I had a reel of a tape. This 1/4-inch tape that had probably 2 days' worth of guitar riffs on it.
oh, they took it, Dave. You left it in the van. They kicked you out, put you on the bus or whatever, sent you back in that freaking tape. That's what you're going to say. You owe him money, Metallica. If he's going to say all them damn riffs on that tape, you went in there and listened to it, because you know it said Dave's tape. Dave's riffs or something. It said something like that. And they put it right in and stole from it.
They continued drinking long after I was gone, but I was thinking in the end, I had a reel of tape, this 1/4-inch tape, and it probably had 2 days' worth of guitar riffs on it. Just playing and playing and playing is what my heart does, is just playing and playing. And we took that tape player and the reel of the tape with us to New York. We did 2 shows out there.
L'Amour's.
And after those 2 shows, they woke up on one morning and said, Look, hey, looksy, you're out of the band. Don't give any of your lip. And I said, What are you talking about? As I lay in my blankets, as they hovered over me like vultures. And I said, What am I doing? What are you doing to me?
Look, you get on out of here. All right, let's see where it goes.
Look, you're out of the band, they said. And I says, What are you talking about? You're out of the band. I said, No warning. No second chances. You're not going to give me a warning, a written warning even. You're just going to kick me out. And I thought that was unfair. And it showed a grotesque lack of character.
I agree with you, Dave. Especially if they took them damn riffs. And I know they're your riffs, I've heard them, but I'm just saying.
And I thought that was unfair, and it showed yes. And so that pissed me right off. And was a huge part of the fuel
to the fire. Did you write that one too?
Fuel to the fire and all that you desire. But at the time I was really mad, and I didn't want to forgive them for what they've did to me. And I told them when I left, do not use my music. And of course they used it.
The Ride the Lightning title track wrote, The Call of Cthulhu, I wrote.
Let me see what else. There's Phantom Lord, Metal Militia, Jump in the Fire, The Four Horsemen, and I wrote a bunch of Leper Messiah too. On Metallica's third album, Master of Puppets.
Good tune.
They don't give me credit on that.
I've had it up to here with you, Metallica. You give that man what he deserves. I'm done with this. What's he gonna say? He's gonna say, yeah. Dave's gonna say Kirk Hammett. Yeah, he can try, but he never beat me. Let's see what he says.
So I wrote a lot of the music that made them all. The solos on the first record were mine. The best Kirk Hammett Mustaine replacement in Metallica could try and copy them.
So there you have that. My lips chapped. I mean, not, just dry. You guys are sitting there watching me, lick my lips like it's some kind of kinky freaking OnlyFans thing or something. I'd really like to get up and go get my Dave Mustaine, yes. And you do not cross this man when he does black magic, because you know what? Something happens to your hips. When he lays that thing down on you, something happens to your hips. Duff McKagan. Now, of course, they exited longtime drummer. I can't remember his name, but thank God for Blabbermouth, because they'll have it right here for us. We're going to read just a splash of this, because he's going to praise the new drummer, Isaac Carpenter. He's going to say, oh, he has just revitalized us. I have to tell you that. He has made us feel alive in ways we thought we were dormant and dead in. So that's always good for the old drummer that was with him for 10 years or 20 years or whatever to read when he wakes up in the morning. Duff McKagan praises new drummer, Guns N' Roses drummer, Isaac Carpenter. I'm sure he's a wonderful fellow, and I'm sure that it's all going good. He adds a new excitement to the songs. Kind of like the excitement that old boy had in that Ritz concert. What was his name? What's his damn name? He's got the knockoff Guns N' Roses band. The old drummer. Firecracker. The whole band is just on fire. Guns N' Roses bassist Duff McKagan has released a new 19-minute video on his YouTube channel. Really? I'd like to have that official, unless it's just Duff McKagan, official YouTube channel in which he answers a number of fan-submitted questions, including about the band's new drummer. So someone asked about it. Isaac Carpenter asked, was Eddie Trunk?
Let me ask you, how long have you known Isaac? I mean, is he a relatively new friend of yours, or do you've known him for long times?
Who replaced Frank Ferrer in March? Duff said, as transcribed, I have known Isaac since he was in his first band called Loudermilk. They were in high school. They're from Washington State, so not far from Seattle. And I'd heard about the band. They got signed to American Records. That's Def Jam, of course, Rick Rubin's label. And they made a record, and they were like, 18 years old. I think I met Isaac when he was 19 and loved this band Loudermilk. Bunch of years, a few years later, like 9 years later, I need a drummer for Loaded. And Isaac's name came up. Thank God for Isaac. He was coming through somewhere I was at. And he came, and we played together, and I told him, dude, oh my God, dude, where have you been all my life? I have this tour. Would you want to do it? Because that rockin' was sweet, dude. What did Isaac say? You want to do it? And he was in. Great. Then he and I made the Taking record. He and I wrote a lot of the songs for that record together in his garage. And I wrote a lot of my book, believe it or not, in his garage. Hold on. You guys, Like, Isaac, I'm here. I'm going to be out in the garage. I'm going to work on my book. I mean, is that true? And I wrote a lot of my book, believe it or not, together in his garage. Okay. He had this couch in his garage that was really old, and it would hurt my back. And it's where I found I could write my darkest sections of my book better. So he was out in that guy's garage because I was in physical pain. So I'd actually come over to his house. Isaac! Yeah, it's Duff. I'm out. It's locked, I've said.
Well, I'm in the middle of dinner.
You know? Come open the fucking garage. So I'd actually come over to his house just to sit in his garage and that couch to write. So I've known him for a long time. I guess, now I think about it, it's been 25 years. And it's great to have him in the band. It's fucking awesome. I mean, you could technically make your own uncomfortable seat to sit your ass on, couldn't you? There's just something about that seat. Or is it something, you know, what is it about that couch that you're like, this thing is so uncomfortable that you couldn't recreate that at home? Isaac has probably asked his mother that several times. Or his mother's asked Isaac right in the middle of eating dinner, say, why in the hell can't he go home and sit in his own goddamn garage on a old piece of wood or something? Asked what Isaac, what's the deal with that? Got to touch it all the way over to the sidewall or something? Sorry. Asked what Isaac brings to Guns N' Roses that might have been missing before. That's a good question. I'll tell you what Isaac brings to the band. No commentary on Frank, because Frank's a lovely guy. I like the way you're doing this so far. Isaac has got this ability, though, to swing and groove that only a few drummers have. Former Guns N' Roses drummer, why? This is the greatest heavy metal podcast in the world. Do you see the name that they're going to throw up that I say fucking grooves? Steven the Steve Man Adler. This is Heavy Metal News Mania. Because that dude on that Ritz concert is in the pocket swinging. Steven Adler's Guns N' Roses. That's what it's called, his band. Isaac has got this ability, though, to swing and groove. That's only a few drummers have. Steven Adler. Former Guns N' Roses drummer Matt Sorum is a great solid drummer with amazing fills, and Matt's amazing. They're both amazing drummers, and Isaac somehow blends both of those two guys and adds his own thing. So he adds a new sort of excitement to the songs. And the groove and swing of the songs right now with Isaac, wow! It is super impressive. And super fun. He's a super freak. GNR kick off its 2025 World Tour on May 1st. That's right, my friends. If you're listening to this right now, don't perk your ears any higher. They're out right now. They've been at it. At Incheon, South Korea's Songdo Moonlit Festival Park. Is Korean food, I was thinking about this today, is Korean food the greatest food in the world? Or is it Chinese food? It's like, I feel like, and Japanese food I'm just kind of scared of because it's all kind of like octopus, you know what I mean? But then again, who knows what the hell I'm even talking about. But I feel like Korean food. I love Korean barbecue. Just so good. The concert marked the band's first live appearance with Carpenter. Long ago and so far away, I fell in love with you. at the second show. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? You said you'd be coming in the way, baby. I just had to do that because I watched a 35-minute live clip of the Carpenters, and she destroys the drums. If you didn't know this, Karen Carpenter of the Carpenters destroys the drums. She's amazing, jazzy drummer. But so I also watched that. So that was just a little extra treat for you. Let's get into the comments. He loves Isaac. He says, "Thank God for Isaac. We can't do it without him." Quick whiz, then we're into it. Baby, 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 oh baby, I love you. Thank you for being so patient through that 1 second break there where I went down and relieved myself. I want to have an empty tank so I can put this one in it. As we get into your comments, I believe that I have them all. Again, I apologize. I don't know what's going on with the comments missing and this and that. I feel like another thing too is if there's any kind of brackets, any kind of links, any kind of clickable stuff, they instantly, that stuff goes out too. I don't know. But let's get into it. It is time for your comments at the fine ending of episode 182 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. Is this going to be a good podcast? Yes. Is it going to be the best that I've ever done? I don't know, because that's in the eye of the beholder. Let's get into it. Johnny B here says, "And a good day to you, sir. Excellent podcast, as always. Exceptional quality and performance. I love how you tell us the stories you're skipping, but go over them in the beginning to give them a quick shout out. No one else does that." Yeah, because I feel like you should at least know the 15-second bites of what's going on, and someone's doing a podcast say, "That's not fair that he does that, because he just names little click things, and I want mine to be this." So I appreciate that. Thank you. Black Sabbath remixing and remastering their 1983 LP Born Again is music to my ears. See what I did there? Yes, I love those and the RJD albums and listened to them nonstop as a teen-aged punk ass. Born Again is highly underrated, and hearing they're giving it some love is delightful. I will definitely be getting those, as I did when they released the remastered and remixed versions of Heaven and Hell, The Mob Rules. Will you listen to fools? The Mob Rules. That was another concert I watched. Wasn't this week, but it was, I think it was one of the Black Sabbathies, but now I get them mixed up because then I go, it wasn't Heaven or Hell, or was it when he was in Black Sabbath? I mean, he's always been 800 years old, guys. Let's be honest about it. Even back in the 60s, he was already 55 years old or something, right? He was an ancient man. So I kind of get those eras mixed. Anyways, I will definitely be getting those. Yeah, 40th anniversary, Heaven and Hell, The Mob Rules, Live Evil, the 40th anniversary Super Deluxe edition of Live Evil is the Chef's Kiss. My God, I wish I would have been able to see them all those years ago. I hear you. I'm just kind of reminiscing on, I'd love to see old Kiss 1978. Would just be like, holy shit. And exactly what I have in my mind is, remember that concert I told you that guy did a wonderful job remastering? That is the image. Kiss Alive 2. Let's get something straight. This is still Johnny B. Let's get something straight here. In my humble opinion, the Dre Man did a half-assed job proposing to his little gal pal, okay? He's got money. Unfortunately, he has a platform and a small group of people who worship him. He could have gotten very creative, but instead decided to half-ass it. He has done that. He has done with that with a lot. When all them little words get together like that, I just go, uh-oh. Half-ass it as he has done with a lot. Believe is a great album, and that's about it. Of the stuff they release, I'm sorry, okay? There, I said it. Oh, and Dre Man, oh, he's direct messaging. Dave, pipe it up. Tune in. Oh, and Dre Man, if you read this, get a hold of me. I got some other things to say to your sweaty face. I realized too late I commented on this last time. My apologies. Don't say any of that last line to him. When you get him on the phone, say, I got to talk to your sweaty face about a couple of things you said. How dare you tell someone to remove my comment on Facebook, and then you're going to give them a free t-shirt? Get your sweaty face over here. So no apologies in there, right? Although, you should all just say, hey, whatever. Johnny B coming in with this week on the Y-File. We're going to discuss something a little different. I'd like to give a giant hell yeah to a newish paranormal hunting YouTube channel I've discovered. And they are Ghost Theory. That's the name of the channel, Ghost Theory. They are two British gentlemen, Elliot, hello, Joe. Elliot and Joe. Hello. Very delightful. Stroke of midnight, they go, ding, oh, it's tea time. Joe, where'd you put the teacups? Sorry. Elliot and Joe, who have all the bells and whistles to see if houses and mansions and hotels and dwellings and are legitly haunted. They debunk themselves as they go along, an outstanding investigation. They've been good friends since childhood. We have Joe, remember, we played skippy rope. But we didn't have a third friend, so we had to tie one side to the fence and we'd play skippity rope. Just a great fun game to play, you know. I had no friends, so I had to tie it to the fence and then do this. They debunk themselves as they go along, and outstanding investigators. They've been good friends since childhood, as the camaraderie is and sense of humor is very genuine. Plus, Joe wears shirts from his favorite metal bands, like Ice Nine Kills and a slew of others. Great channel if you're into ghost investigating. They are legit. Then this might be up your alley. Hey, I'm down for it. Everyone knows I'm a paranormal kook. I love it. I watch all the shows. If you're, I don't watch anything anymore. I listen to music and read lyrics and look at Wikipedia pages and watch concerts. But if something is just in the background, going to sleep or whatever, it's Ghost Hunt, the free channel, Pluto. And it's the Ghost Taps, the OGs. And you know what, Johnny B, I'm going to tell you this right now. It never occurred to me to go look on YouTube for other paranormal, because I just watch all the big ones that they have on TV. And I don't care about it. It's like, let's watch some real stuff. I don't need some quick edits so you can put in a goddamn Febreze commercial or something like that, which, by the way, not a plug at all. I'm redacting the name of the brand, but earlier, when I got home, had to use the restroom. When I went down for break in this podcast, this name brand, it's called April Spring, is still delightful. I'm down there going, this was a solid 3 hours ago, and I can still smell that wonderful fragrance. Now, if they get wind of this, I want money. Okay? I'm not saying the name brand, but I want money. If you go, oh, he's talking about us guys, get the corporate weasels on the phone. We need to send this guy a fat check. All right? That's all for me this week. I hope everyone is happy and healthy and having a great week leading up to the weekend. Everybody working for the weekend, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep doing what you're doing, Shane Reno. Love it all. P.S. The actor you were thinking of a few weeks back, indeed, Jeff Goldblum. Yes, because I have this friend of mine that I asked. He called me while I was at work, and he's one of those guys that played the Kevin Bacon's 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know what game that is? It's where you name an actor, and within 6 actors, you can link them back to Kevin Bacon. Does that make any sense? As soon as I said The Fly and Jurassic Park, he said, "Oh, you're talking about Jeff Goldblum." Of course, yeah, you're talking about Jeff Goldblum. You know? And I says, "Yeah, that's him." "Yeah, it's Jeff Goldblum." "Yeah, you were talking about Jeff Goldblum." It's like, yeah, Jeff Goldblum, yeah. And now, but he's so funny on Portlandia. Anytime I can watch that guy and interview with him or anything, I just love him. Johnny B, again, I cut you off. I put that in one of my comments to one of your videos a week or so ago, but I'm not sure you saw it. They come in like a machine gun. So I'm nabbing. Of course, you guys are around so much, I see your, when I'm just the wall of comments that are coming in, I can see your avatars. So I go, "Oh, there's Johnny. Oh, there's Mike." If you're gonna play the game, baby, you're gonna get, if you want to hang out and you want to be here, I'm gonna focus my attentions on the people that want to be here. PSS Johnny B has here, and he's got a PSSS. Is it PSS or is it supposed to be PPS? Miss Althea will know the answer to that. The young Rob Halford flowy shirt can be found at any local thrift stores that older women shop at. My wife and I go to them every once in a while to see what they have, and I always see those shirts. Give me a flowing number, a silky flowing number. You know what I was thinking to myself? Someone might go, "Well, that was kind of kinky for him to say that," but I'm just going to say a truth to you. Is there anything more absolutely just like beautiful than a gal in a sundress? And I'm not talking about some kind of dirty shit. She's sweaty and she's sitting on a heater, Oh, I'm talking about just, every time I say you just say it's summertime. It's turning into summertime. PSSS, or is it a PPPS? That's what I want to know. PPP loan. Has anyone done an investigation on Wendy Dio? First, she was with Ronnie when he passed. Then she was with Lemmy hours before he drifted off into the never mortal coil. Suspect. She's not one. I kid, of course. He's just joking, everybody. He's just joking. It's just a silly goof. But it's interesting, sort of. Oh, look at that. He's got the hashtag in. Get Shane to 100K. By God, I want to salute you guys. Big Tone coming in with his comments. Brother Shane, another great Jive Talkin podcast. The crusade to expand the subscription base continues. In good taste, of course. Yes. I want people to hang out if they want to hang out. That's what I'm into. Let's chill. That was weird. Isn't that weird to me? Let's chill. See, even I know when I'm just cringe. I'm never watching a podcast. The guy goes, "Let's chill." Is there anyone that okay. Oh. All right, Big Tone coming in here. Sorry, I had to collect my thoughts again. Is there anyone that Wendy Dio doesn't know? Sad story. R.I.P. Sir Lemmy. Got the heavy metal emoticons up. I started to watch a concert, Motorhead. I was hunting for Motorhead, and it was one of the last ones. And I was just like, he was like, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm turning it off. I don't want it. If I'm going to do that, I'm going back to fucking the meat and potato years. Although I did watch a couple of live clips, probably about the 90s or whatever, and Mickey D back there on the drums is just... I've always loved that guy on the drums. Always loved that guy. Seeing her name pop up reminds me of when I met the one and only late, great Ronnie James Dio. He was in his tour bus, hanging upside down wearing inversion boots to provide relief for his scoliosis, which I was unaware of. But seeing footage, I can see it. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Now you can kind of see the way he was, hunched over like a wizard. He was a true gentleman of the true gentleman word. R.I.P. RJD, there will never be another one like you. And he's a spirit guide. I've already claimed him. If we got spirits and spirit guides, he's mine. I get that. I do that all day at work to myself. It's like, is he dead? Oh. I feel like I'm now losing it. Okay. Well wishes, good health to all as always. Keep them coming, brother. Now we've got the heavy metal emoticon, horns up emoticons, and then again the fist punching with the power pop in the middle, and I love that. And again, hashtag get Shane to 100K. I'm going to hold that plaque up and say, I could have never done this without any of you. You have to know this. You have to know this. I want to thank YouTube for taking so long to recognize that I'm worth it. You'll see it. You'll feel it in my eyes. You'll know it. Miss Althea coming in here, and it's a short one. So I'm just, let's do this. Miss Althea, the dumbstruck fool, says YouTube is apparently policing me again. I have attempted to leave a comment on this episode multiple times. And it did the same ... on Mike Buchanan again. Did I say that already? It has been zapped. So this is my last ditch attempt to get something to stick. At this point, I don't remember what I had to say about anything. But all the stories were pretty much inconsequential to me anyways. Although there was the continuing endearment of KK Downing being called Ken or Kenneth. Peace out. Keeping it extra bitchy this week. You got the peace out emoticon sign and the purple devil. That means there is hell to pay. You hear me, YouTube? One of you guys have to be watching all this stuff right now. Every time I upload one of these videos, it's going, checking. Checking. So I'm telling you right now, get my comments fixed and get me to the top of the YouTube page. Thank you. Please and thank you. Now put that into your little... Because that's what they do. They scan through the whole video and then they go, oh, there was a little song in it. You got it. Which is fine. It's for the bands. I get it. I ain't got no problems with that. If the bands want to, if I do a band on the channel, I don't expect money. It's cool when the bands do the sharing. What the hell's that? It's cool when they do because some bands do that, where they share revenue with you. A lot of newer bands, I'll tell you right now, the really older bands, they're blocked. And then you got to go through this whole rigmarole to try to see if you can get it released. Little inside baseball there for you. Okay, Miss Althea, I wish I had the number to the head of YouTube, because I'd call him. Say, I want to talk to her right now. I'll have you know I have 23,000 subscribers on my channel. I'll say, really? PewDiePie has 50 million. Well, I ain't no goddamn PewDiePie. Okay? I'm not your average PewDiePie. Tim Milliken coming in here. He goes, that intro went hard, bro. And yes, indeed, he is indeed wearing, indeed, I believe it to be, a Shane Diablo shirt, which is available for purchase in the links below. There's your heart there. I think I'm doing good with getting everybody. There's Big Tone. Got to hit him. Sticky Doll coming in. Time to design a new t-shirt, Shane, that Glenn Danzig won't cry about. Yep. My Misfits shirt. Here's an idea. Black t-shirt, big, bold, white letters. Shane Diablo. He's too damn good. If I would sell 30 case units, is that what they would say? 30 case units. If I could sell 30 case units, each unit inside of a case, there's 10 units to a case, and each unit has 100 t-shirts in it, I would do a t-shirt like that. So someone do the math on all that, and we'll figure it out. Sticky Doll says, over a cool, simple graphic of your gorgeous mug, big glasses. Oh, this is the look of the shirt here. We'll read that again. Over your cool, simple graphic of your gorgeous mug, big glasses, trash cap, wild hair, and goofy expression. Then underneath that, the words, P.S. Not a wiener. That's a damn good shirt. I don't want to do any creating that. Can someone make that t-shirt and have it make it look real good with me on it? I had a guy draw me as a what's the shirtless. I think one of my t-shirts is actually in there of that design, but I think it's, or a coffee mug or something, but it's me shirtless. And what's the thing that has the whole horse body? Not the one that just has the goat legs or whatever, but the full horse body. I had an artist draw me like that once. Long time ago. Very, very good. We will buy one. Well, we gotta see what about the case units on that, and I'll get back to you on that. Thank you. Mike Buchanan coming in with his stuff. We got in this week's, so let's get into it. You know, guys, it is a podcast that's unedited, unfiltered. It's all the things that you think are cool. All right? It's all the things that you love and you think are hip and cool. That's what this is. So there's hiccups in it. Mike Buchanan coming in here on this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways. Pharaoh's Curse, 1957. Bear with me. I'm trying out different styles of reviews over the next few weeks of Jive Talkin. And then you're going to get a blog going over on Tumblr. Is that still around, Tumblr? I watched it. I shouldn't have watched it. Now the cat won't stop staring at me. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Miss Althea may agree with me on this, but when a cat stares kind of blindly into your eyes or at you, it is a sign of affection. It's them trying to send energy to you that says, I love you. I trust you. You're safe. Okay? So that's a little, bit of something for you there. Okay, look, I love old horror movies. Campy, fun, dramatic eyeliner and mummies who move like they forgot leg day for 3,000 years. Count me in. But Pharaoh's Curse, this one felt different. Like I watched it alone and now my walls whisper in ancient Egyptian. Egyptian different. The plot is simple enough. Expedition disturbs a tomb, something terrible wakes up, suddenly the crew is running low on blood, breath, and common sense. Classic, love it. Except, somewhere around the halfway mark, I sneezed and swear I heard a jackal howling in my sink. There's a kid in the movie She stares into the distance like she knows how I'm going to die. The mummy? Question mark. Not even that scary until you realize it doesn't just kill you, it takes you slowly, piece by piece, like it's unmaking you in reverse. That's not a bad idea there for a good horror movie. I turned off the movie and my TV screen reflected something standing behind me. I live alone. My goldfish won't swim to the east side of the bowl anymore. My Uber Eats driver looked at me and whispered, "You've been marked." This is a very interesting style you have going on here. Here's the prose for the movie, The Pharaoh's Curse. Creepy desert vibes, solid practical effects from that era, a mummy that feels like it's judging you personally. Cons: accidentally invoking a curse. Now wake up covered in sand. Keep dreaming in hieroglyphs. Would I recommend it? Sure. If you hate sleeping or have a burning desire to feel a phantom hand grip your ankle at 3:11 a.m., run out to amber is the color of your energy. Whoa. Gotta do it, dude. 3:11, bro. Gotta do it. 3:11 a.m. every night for the rest of your cursed and sand-dusted existence. 4 stars. 1 deducted because my dog now refuses to enter the living room. Well, you see how that sits with you. I thought it was perfectly fine. And I do like the pros and cons thing. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play if you want to curse. First off, you see, I'm getting my lip juice. I don't want any of you kinky buggers over there saying, "Dude, I lose it every time he's licking his lips." I can't have that. This is a family show. This is a family. Oh God, that feels so much better. Oh, I have to tell you that. That just. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Yeah, great. Okay. First off, before getting on with the podcast, this is still Mike Buchanan. We are all super happy that Den is getting healthier every day. Shane, I have a request. Well, not really, but I do, however, have a small novel over on Patreon. Okay. I'll go look. I have been neglecting. Now, Mike Buchanan on to KK. I know that he's been a huge fan of Jimmy for a very long time. He started out in a band that did cover songs of Jimmy. He's speaking of Hendrix and other bands. That band morphed into what we know as Judas Priest. The original Judas Priest, different band. What? Okay. That morphed into what we know of as Judas Priest. The original Judas Priest, different band, folded sometime in 1970. The singer from that band, really? Al Atkins, joined forces with KK and Ian. All right. And a few months later, under a different name, don't remember what that was, and eventually the band adopted the name Judas Priest. The classic lineup that we knew under Rock-a-Rolla album didn't come around until about 72, 73, when they added Glenn to the lineup. Oh, so Glenn's never been a founding guy. So a little Priest history for you. Great. Mike Buchanan on Max Cavalera. It's always a good day when you get news that Soulfly will be releasing a new album. Great band. Who's excited for Spinal Tap 2? Mike queries. The end continues. Don't know. Is it going to be the same directing fella? Meathead from All in the Family? Don't know how much about the story of the movie, but by the name of the film, I would have to think that it's kind of a dig at Kiss. Are you, what? For their End of the Road tour. Okay. It went on for 4 years, of which I was twice and about 3 years apart. I read that like shit. Who's excited for Spinal Tap 2? The end continues. Don't know much about the story of the movie. That's where I was getting twisted up, is you're talking about this sequel, because I was going, Mike Buchanan hasn't seen Spinal Tap, but I was reading it wrong. You're talking about this movie here that they're getting ready to do. But the name of the film, I would have to think that it's kind of a dig at Kiss over the End of the Road tour. That went on for 4 years, of which I saw twice, about 3 years apart. Okay. Mike Buchanan and I saw Dio the only time on the Last in Line tour. And Dokken was the opening band. This would have been in '84. Spent a whopping $12.50 to go see the show. What the hell happened to ticket prices? It's like everything. Milk didn't get better. Toilet paper didn't get better. There's no advancements. Why did the price keep hiking and hiking and hiking? It's so that rich folks can have, billionaire folks can have third and fourth and fifth homes. It's the only reason why toilet paper has went from, it is something, paper that you wipe your ass with and flush, to freaking the prices it is now. Don't tell me that because it's softer, or it's this, or it's that, or it's fragranced, or it's this, that now you can charge $10 a roll. Don't do it. I ain't buying it. I don't believe it. I'll use leaves. What the hell happened to ticket prices? I agree. But now, thanks to a website called VetTix, I can now get tickets for shows, sporting events, theater, or whatever for like $16. That's right, VetTix. And they get a free sponsorship on this channel. I support the vets fully. So vettix.com. Is that what it is? Go. And now, it's time for Jive Talkin Jokes of the Week, provided by Mike Buchanan, who does it every week. He put this wonderful display together. And if you're a vet, you're now going to be going, thank God for Mike Buchanan. I don't want to leave anyone out. Did Johnny B mention that too? About the VetTix, or was it all Mike Buchanan? Because I'm telling you, that's good stuff. At least someone can get a discount. At least somebody. Now, out of that, whatever that was, into fun and jokes. Let's do it now. And now it's time for Jive Talkin Jokes of the Week. When I get naked in the bathroom, the shower usually gets turned on. What's a beehive's favorite music to blare? Paul and Oates. Should only come out at night. I'm actually, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm more of an older Hall & Oates guy. I know that a little bit better. Sarah Smiles and stuff, but Maneater, man, when that hit the MTV, I was all in. I was like, hot damn, all of it. Mike Buchanan says, joke, my chiropractor charges $30 a pop. Is that too much? If you are speaking of joint pop, yes, that is very expensive. And how do they even count that one where he yanks your fucking head? Have you seen that? Have you seen those videos where they put their chest down, they lay them down, and then some brute that's got, Hulk Hogan pythons wraps this blanket around their neck and gives it a fucking pull? It's like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I want that. But you just hear this. I don't know if that's a good idea to have some guy that has a spray tan on and he's very beefcake muscular yanking on your skull like that while you're laying down. Just saying. My wife just put on her new dress and then told me to zip it. I have no idea what I've done wrong. Yeah. And finally, time to make Shane think. Oh shit, here we go. I want to show you my bald.
Look at that. Look what life has done to me. Look what it's done to me. I'm as yellow as the person I used to be.
Here he's going to say, okay, here we go. If you ever think English is not a weird language, just remember that read and lead rhyme and read and lead rhyme. But read and lead don't rhyme, and neither do read and lead. Yeah. I don't even know what any of that means. That is not, other than I can see each word as an English word, I don't know. So that will need to be explained to me next week. And then we've got Bobby. This is Bobby. Bobby's new. Bobby L. And my friend, there's your heart. Mike Buchanan, my God. Bobby, that got 3 dang heart. 3 thumbsy upsies, and guess what, my friend? You're getting a 4th thumbsy upsy, and you're getting a damn heart today. We're happy to have you hanging around here. He says, be sure to smash that like button, comment, and subscribe. It's something I should probably do in my videos, but I hate doing that. I put it at the end for a reason. Because it's always irritating when you go to any channel and they're like, I just got my dick chopped off. Or whatever the hell it is. Whatever they're going on about. You know. But before that, like, comment, and subscribe and all this shit that's happening. You know, it's like, no. I'll just put it at the end. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. If you want to hang out with me and be my friend, you will. If you don't, you don't. Okay? So, Bobby L., you got a friend in me. Doom, doom, doom. You got a friend in me. Doom, doom, doom. Said you got a friend in me, baby. That would have been amazing if I could have tuned this right up and just started to go into it, but I can't because it has to be reset. But thank you all for tuning in. You know, stay connected. The best thing that you could ever do for yourself is widen your perspective. A lot of people, when they're walking around, you're only seeing 3 feet in front of your face. What I'm telling you to do is see a mile out. Go outside and look a mile in the distance instead of everything that's right at you like this. Look past that and look out. And don't let anything into your zone. Don't doom scroll or anything if it's putting you in a negative feel. If you feel that in your chest and it's fit you, I don't need it. Out. Gone. Because you got the thumbs to do it. You got a red in me. Let's see. We will see you next week, okay? So I'm going to try and do something decent here. Playing the beat. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a Jive Talkin with Shane.